All right. I think now I'm probably live. Let me see. Okay, and honestly, guys, forgive my hair. It's honestly a little messy. I washed it yesterday and it rained and we went out in the rain and I didn't cover up my hair, so it's a little all over the place. But yes, welcome persons watching this. Yeah, so honestly, today's topic that I'm talking about, and whoever is in the stream can go ahead and chat with me about it, but I'm really just probably going to be doing a whole bunch of chatting, honestly, because I have a lot on the topic. I'm like, I cannot even see. I'm blind. Okay. So, I am talking about the root of anger, the roots of anger in general. So, let's get it started. Let me just shrink myself down so that you guys can see what we're doing. Here. Okay, so I have some sort of like cups that I'm drawing, and I already basically did a whole bunch of stuff, and I just hid all those layers so I can focus on these individual layers. But yes, okay, so I guess I kind of wanted to start off by saying that I think we have a lot to unpack when it comes to dealing with anger, only because I feel like it involves a lot of our own personal pride and ego towards certain situations involved with other people, or other circumstances that we don't feel like we deserve, and things like that. Oh yeah, I have lo-fi going on in the background again because, y'all, my last video did not get copyright strike, so I finally found some lo-fi beats that actually will not get me caught up on Spotify. Oh, thank you. But let's see. So I will just honestly talk from my own personal experience when it comes to anger, because this was something that was brought up by somebody who was watching my last live. Terrence, I think that's who it was, who was watching my other live, and had brought up wanting to talk about that, but I don't expect anybody to be in the stream right now, so I'll just go ahead and talk about it from my perspective. But so first I had to really, honestly, when thinking about this topic, I had to go and really question myself and ask me, like, what causes me to even be angry? Yeah, what really causes me to be angry? And this is a question that I would probably also have y'all ask yourselves and really answer too. And I just came up with like a whole list. And so here's a list of the stuff that makes me angry. Maybe you guys can relate, maybe you can't, but for me, it's feeling disrespected by other people, people who don't necessarily act respectful. That definitely just kind of pisses me off. Just honestly, any attack on, like I said, my pride or my ego, and that's something that I think is really rooted in why we have anger. But yeah, whatever you guys actually end up like listing out for yourselves, like those are your triggers. Okay, those are your triggers for getting angry. So other things that I came up with is illogical thinking. If you aren't thinking logically, and you're like telling me something, if it's not making sense logically, yeah, it's gonna make me upset. Um, let's see. Other things, bringing up my past as if it has anything to do with who I am today. Yeah, has nothing, like, nobody should be bringing up anybody's past, to be honest, because we are present us, we are not the past us. Let's see. Oh, anything that has to do with the imposition of one's beliefs on another person. That is something that also kind of just like pisses me off or makes me angry, because I don't believe in the oppression of anybody and the like somebody forcing you to have a certain belief that you may not have. That'll also make me very upset. Other things, wicked or evil behaviors. If you don't have any freaking morals and you're just walking around thinking you can just do whatever to anybody and not care for another human person's life, and you have some sort of involvement in that, yeah. Oh, yeah. Crystal in the chat. Lack of common sense is a big pet peeve for you. Yeah, honestly. Hypocrisy also, yes. These are things that definitely would also piss me off as well. Like, lack of common sense. And yeah, if you're a person who's a hypocrite, you say one thing and do another, like, yeah, that's also going to just kind of upset me, because not people not following their word. Like, to me, word is bond, and you have to live up, well, word is bond, not necessarily you have to live up to it, but it should have some sort of like foundation for how you move. Oh, nice, Terrence up in the chat. Hey man, this stream is honestly for you, dude, because you had brought up anger. But yeah, you don't have to believe in someone else's religion to respect their beliefs and lifestyle. Exactly. I'm not with anybody who tries to, force somebody to believe a certain way or look a certain way, because what is the point of us having this idea of free will if we're just forced to look at things or believe things one sort of way? At the end of the day, I think everybody should have free thought. Let's see what else that I wrote that triggers me to get upset. I really also don't like people who have no accountability, and individuals who don't acknowledge that they've done anything wrong. I think that's also something that can upset a lot of us. I doubt that I'm the only one who feels that type of way when it comes to situations like that. But I honestly really don't like individuals who can't take accountability, because that just shows to me that you're not even willing to grow as a person. And personally, I cannot work with anybody who does not see that they can grow in a certain area. I also get very angry when I see circumstances where people are attacking other people's because they see them as being weak. I don't think any individual is a weak person. I feel like everybody has some sort of strength, and at the end of the day, we're all just kind of different. So don't attack people because you look at them a certain way. That gives you no right. Anybody who has a superiority complex, that also pisses me off, and people who have self-centeredness. But at the end of the day, like when I had just brought up this whole stream, the root of anger can be perceived as pride and our own egos and our own self-centeredness, because at the end of the day, we don't feel as if, anybody should disrespect us, anybody should, treat us a certain way. And the reason why we look at life that kind of way is because we view life through our own personal lens, through our own egos. And so when we're looking through that lens and we feel that somebody, disrespects us, or, out of all the other things that I listed for myself, like, it can kind of make you upset. Because at the end of me, hold up, y'all, my cat, hold up. Yeet. No. Go. Ruining the stream. Okay, my bad, y'all. That was, our infamous cat. But, so as I was saying, like, we get upset a lot of the times because we feel like a part of us is being attacked. And sometimes it is the case, sometimes it's not. But at the end of the day, like, you have to be self-aware of that. Anger is also driven by having like a kind of like a resentful sense of entitlement. And that's also something like is rooted in your ego, who you see yourself as, who you believe yourself to be. And not all the time your ego is the truth. Sometimes we build ourselves up a certain way and be a certain way because we think that's just how we're supposed to be. And that's not necessarily true, but a resentful sense of entitlement in response to real or imagined injury. Again, at the end of the day, we often get upset or angry, mad, whatever you want to call it, because we feel like somebody hurt us. Let's see. Terrence in the chat says, a lot of folks attack people of that lack of self-worth and feeling of others moving ahead of them, so they gotta drag folks back. Yes, I definitely agree with you, Terrence. There's a lot of people out there who really want to drag others down because misery loves company at the end of the day. People who, lack a sort of, good sense of self will feel as if somebody who's making moves themselves is attacking them by doing that. And I've definitely come across people who do that too. It's just like, I'm trying to show y'all the way out, but instead of, taking some sort of wisdom from what I'm saying, other people would rather just try to bring you down. And it's very toxic. It's very toxic. I will just say this: anger, pride, envy, jealousy, they all kind of work in congruence with each other. They all work together. And these are, at the end of the day, some very low vibrational emotions that can really just set off people to do some really like cruel ass, wicked ass shit. So if we do not check ourselves about like our pride, our anger, and if we are not checking ourselves about like if we're, being jealous or envious about other people and what they got going on, we will project our own behaviors to act a certain way with that low vibrational stuff. Meaning like we could potentially go ahead and hurt another person because of this stuff, because the way that we're feeling is so just low. Anger itself can also be fueled by fear and insecurity. At the end of the day, like I said, it really has to do with your ego. If you're insecure about who you are as a person in some sort of way, you will, it's likely that you will go ahead and start talking mess to somebody else to kind of cover up that insecurity or that fear you have about yourself. And like I said, misery loves company, and the reason why we do this stuff because it boosts us up. It boosts us, it boosts a lot of us up. But at the end of the day, you got to check where your anger and is actually being, is really coming from. We have to figure it out, where our anger is coming from. Let's see. Terrence says, I can't understand hating on another person, making it out. Sometimes I just think people want to be crabs in a bucket, stomping someone out, drive certain people. Yeah, no, and see, I don't want to say, just from my experience, there are actually a lot of people out there who really have to stomp out another person trying to succeed. And, I don't want to make it about, like, let's say, a certain group of people, but, like, a certain group of people that I've come in contact with always feels like it's some sort of, like, competition or whatever, because they don't want to see the next person doing better than them. Because I think that people don't want to see people doing better than them because that makes them feel bad about themselves. It makes them insecure about themselves, and it makes them feel like they aren't doing anything in their life. So, how the heck is this other person doing it? Rather than, taking it as, oh, I see somebody going out there chasing their dreams. Maybe that's an example that I could be following for myself if I want to go and chase my own dreams instead of but at the end of the day, it's like people are envious, people are jealous. Crystal says, it be the closest people to you hated. How is it easier to love a stranger but not somebody that you've known for a minute? Because motherfuckers don't know themselves. Yeah, no, y'all, it's crazy. Because it's real life easy to go and tell a stranger about your own personal life. Because one, you feel like they're not gonna judge, and two, you don't gotta be scared of who is this person gonna tell if I tell them. Who is this person gonna tell if I tell them? Yep, shake your hand and wish you well, turn around and drag your name through the dirt. Yeah, some real hating ass people, because at the end of the day, people be angry, people be jealous, and people, if it's not them, nobody else should really be succeeding. I feel like that's just how I kind of see things happening. Let's see, what else did I put? Yeah, it's just like, I think people out there gotta learn that, one, the world does not revolve around them, and two, there's enough room for everybody to fucking eat. There's enough room for everybody to eat. I don't think people get that. People think that there's not, we can't all be successful, we can't all work together and shit like that, but at the end of the day, we really can. You just gotta put your pride aside, you gotta put your ego to the side, you gotta put away the whole self-centeredness in order to do that. But I know, like, for example, we may, like, an example that I just wrote about was just, like, somebody calling you, like, let's say a dumbass, and it goes on to say that you're not shit, and, automatically, this will make you feel very upset. This will make you feel very upset because you feel that what they said was very disrespectful. And, I'm not saying it wasn't. It was disrespectful, but in moments like that, you could really catch yourself and really say, is it worth giving my energy to this situation? Should I really give this energy and kind of validate what they're saying by arguing back with that person? The saying goes like, how does the saying go? Like, if you get smacked in one cheek, you turn your other cheek. It's kind of like that. You just kind of pause for a second, and if you react with anger back to that person's probably already like expecting it to happen, to be honest. But if you go and reevaluate right quick and say, you know what, I'm not even gonna give this energy, they're just the person who's throwing that shit at you, calling you names or whatever, saying all this, evil stuff to you. It could really change that by not responding. You could really kind of change their perspective too, in a way. Let's see. Terrence says, shit's weird. Quick reminder, don't hang around folks who don't like you just to keep your circle calm. It's bad vibes. Be upfront when you got problems. Yeah. There's a lot of wolves in sheep clothing, y'all. There's a lot of wolves in sheep clothing. I think that we do have to be careful with those type of people who fake be your friend, and kind of talk behind your back. At the end of the day, those are not good characteristics of some folks. Those are not good characteristics, period, in my opinion. Gossiping and all that stuff leads to much worse problems. Like I said, like envy and jealousy. If somebody's gossiping, they're probably not happy about themselves and their lives and stuff that they got going on because they're talking about everybody else's lives. Let's see. I think that we got some shit that we got to do when it comes to anger, though. I think that if we have some sort of like insecurity about ourselves, or we don't necessarily know ourselves, anything can set us off. Anything can set us off. And that's why we just gotta keep focused on learning who we are in this world, because the people out there who act out of anger, they don't necessarily know themselves because they're letting anybody else dictate their emotions. The only reason I bring up this topic is because I think it's so important that we as people, we should really be learning how to not only control our thoughts and our minds, we gotta control our emotions, because out in the real world, y'all, like off rip, the government, the media, they all use our emotions against us when we could be using that emotion to be converted into something that's more productive. For example, I'm sure y'all are familiar with, the instances of Rodney King and George Floyd. I'm not saying that what had happened to them was not wrong. I do agree that everything that did happen and how it was portrayed was wrong. But the anger of the community caused destruction of communities. It caused destruction of small businesses, even though the media wants to go and portray it as if like these small businesses and these little areas were not getting hit hella hard. They really were, and we were attacking, our anger was being thrown on people who did not deserve it. And like I said, the government and the media use anger to get y'all to behave a certain way, because when we're using emotion, we are not using our logic. And a wave of destruction came from this. We were all angry. I was angry. But I had to take a step back and say, how are we really going to solve this problem? This problem of police brutality, this problem of, honestly, I really think it's a problem of a system that does not care about human life, regardless of race. The system does not care about human life. It would rather see you dead anyway. all of us. It would rather see all of us dead. And at the end of the day, because we were angry in those situations, many people chose to go and destroy the surrounding community. The riots in LA after Rodney King had gotten beaten by those, LAPD, the riots lasted for 6 days. And the whole city was on fire. Nobody felt safe. How can that be productive for your community if that was, if that's the case? If your city's on fire, how can you work with everybody else who's, fucking scared and shit, because everybody else who's acting off of emotions is just, terrorizing the whole place? Yes, Terrence, facts, bro. They use anger as a tool of war. Y'all, the war that's really happening against humanity right now. Oh, fuck. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what happened to my lo-fi. But, the war that's happening to humanity right now is a war of emotions, which is our heart, and a war of our minds. And if we're not, keeping that shit in check, they're going to use that shit against us, which they do. In my examples, the communities after the beating and after the death of George Floyd, the communities were honestly not shot up, but they were really shot up. So it is a tool of war against ourselves. So we really gotta go and really check that shit. Anger can make us do a lot of crazy ass shit. A lot of crazy ass shit. How can anger become dangerous? Crimes of passion. We see people killing other people because, they slept with my girl. They slept with my dude. So I'm gonna go out there because I'm angry. I'm gonna go and, kill them. Crimes of passion, murder and manslaughter. These things happen. Let's see. Domestic violence is another example on how it's an attack on ourselves. It's just because, and this goes for both men and women who commit domestic violence. I'm not just, pinning this on just one gender. It's both men and women who do this, and it's usually done because, one, they're angry with themselves out of fear and insecurity. Crystal says, keeping us distracted. Hell yes. They know exactly what gets people worked up. If they keep us focused on the superficial, artificially made social constructs, then we won't rise up against them. Exactly. If we're constantly going on and being angry about these social constructs that we create, then we're not going to get nowhere. We're not going to get nowhere because everybody's like, I'm right, you're wrong. But that's not necessarily the case. Terrence says, and war is profitable, which in turn makes anger, sadness, depression profitable. Yes, bro. Yes. It's true. All those negative ass, low vibrational emotions is what they got us hooked on. Because they also mix it in with a little bit of dopamine. Just a sprinkle of dopamine and all this other stuff, anger, sadness, depression, is okay. And we'll profit off of it. Crystal also says they'd rather continuously tell us how we're slaves, but not giving out the solutions. Energy vampires and the elite. They get off to negative energy. Exactly. And yeah, everybody's out there not giving fucking solutions. I'm tired of that shit. That's why I'm talking about this shit, because I'm trying to get y'all a introspective perspective on how you can get out of this cycle that they got everybody in. They got everybody, like Terrence said in the chat, they got everybody in a cycle of anger, in a cycle of sadness, in a cycle of depression. Why is it that everything in the media that they put out either makes you sad or makes you fucking angry? You know? I have to fucking question. Yeah. It's not healthy, y'all. It's not healthy. Let's see. So, yeah, how else can anger become destructive or dangerous? Well, it can definitely lead to physical harm of another, or even emotional harm. It and on a greater scale, it can lead to mass destruction and revenge. Terrence says they are looking for more problems to keep us busy while they plot on us. They be in those who thrive in chaos. Yes, those who thrive in chaos. We all know who they are. And this is more the reason why we need to start taking control of ourselves, because we will become pawns of their games and their wars if we don't. Let's see. What else did I end up writing? Could something happen? But I want everybody to just kind of know that, like, there's a time and place to have anger. There's a time and place to have anger. I'm not saying that anger is wrong. Anger is not always wrong. It's actually something that can really push you to, like, make some shit actually happen, make some shit actually change. It's something that is connected to your willpower, what you are able to do out in this world that we're in. So if we're able to analyze and understand the anger within ourselves, then we are able to take more control of our willpower and use our anger in something that actually promotes real change, not destruction, actual change. Let's see. Chasing cheese, that's poison the money, and drama ain't what we really need. No, we don't. Yeah. Money is the root of all evil, as they say, and money does make a lot of people upset. And it's so crazy because, honestly, y'all, money is not real. It is not real. It is real because they made it real, but it is not real, y'all. We don't even need, I don't know. I don't feel like we really need some form of, like, currency in the world, really. But hey, you know, at the end of the day, this is not the world we created, or I created. This is a world the greater consciousness has allowed. But so anger clouds judgment. When you're stuck in emotions, you are not acting or thinking logically. And when we are in emotions such as anger, we are more impulsive to do whatever. Like I said, if, let's say, you found out your partner was cheating on you, obviously we're going to be angry. But there have been many people who've gotten, caught their partner cheating, and the first thing, that's on their minds is swinging hands. I understand, that morally what they did was not right, but swinging on somebody because you're upset is also not right. Two wrongs don't make a right, y'all. Two wrongs don't make a right. You have to figure out how you can use your anger towards something more productive. We have to take control, y'all. We have to take control, and you have to use your mind to control your emotions. Your mind is in charge of your heart. Do not let your emotions just run all over you. Because it can really get you in some fucked up situations, y'all. It can really get you up in some fucked up situations. And it will have you looking back and regretting what you did. Yes, anger is not wrong unless you use it wrong. Exactly. Anger is a tool like a gun. Period. That's exactly true. I got cheated on before. I was gonna blow up, but then I just knew that wasn't me. Terrence, drop a little more about what you mean about that. Like, oh, you was about to get hella angry, but then you just didn't do it. I mean, like, what made you get to that point where you're just like, you know what, it's not even worth it? Put it in the chat and I'll read it. People that take on the personality of being an angry person are weirdos. Oh my goodness! I wonder who you've come across, Crystal, that acts like that. But I agree with you. Those type of people, like, they're known for having anger. Oh my goodness! Like, I don't know about y'all, but like, I know in elementary school, kids who did have like anger issues was kind of like they use that as a flex, and they use that to intimidate and scare other kids, and you just knew that you shouldn't even mess with that kid because of the anger that they had. You don't even know why they're angry, but they definitely those poor kids need to be taught how to use their anger more as a tool rather than as something, as impulsive as getting back at somebody. I think that there is a need for us, like I said, there's a need for us to take back our emotions and our minds, y'all. Because at the end of the day, they use our emotions to have us attack ourselves, attack, other human beings who are also here. It's not right. It's not right. I'm not, like I said earlier, I'm not saying that your anger is not justified or can't be justified. It definitely can be. It's just you have to use it in a way that's more powerful. And that means converting it into something that can actually make shit change. Let's see. Oh, don't say this because I'll blow. Yeah, guys. Crystal said, some people who are angry individuals go and say, oh, don't say this because they'll blow up. Well, guess what? You are responsible for your own triggers. At the beginning of the video, I just listed out stuff that, makes me angry. And the stuff that makes me angry are those triggers, if you want to go ahead and call it. And I am supposed to be accountable for my own triggers. There are a million things that happen in the world, okay? A million things that happen at any time. And it doesn't make sense for me, as a person who lives out in this world where anything can happen at any time, to have those things always constantly make me angry. I'm responsible for my feelings. I'm responsible for determining how I can feel towards a certain situation. People don't understand that they have power in doing that. And that's why I'm telling y'all all of this, is because we have to take back our power. Terrence says, I kind of wish I blew that anger off, because when I didn't, all that anger turned into sadness and grief. And I was just drinking a bunch and giving out sad vibes and shit. Nah, facts, bro. What people, I think, don't realize is our anger can turn into something, that much more negative, like sadness and depression and things like that, because we're just kind of holding on to it in a lot of ways. And it's not easy to get out of anger. It's not easy to get out of anger, especially when you feel like you've been done wrong. Especially when you feel like there was no justice served. You know, there was no equality in what had happened. It's easy to get angry. Very easy to get angry at situations like that. But we also have to see that there are other ways to handle it and handle our anger. I mentioned this in the last stream, but I will say it again. If you feel as if, you have a lot of emotions all the time, I will suggest getting a journal and writing those emotions out. Because at the end of the day, your anger, your sadness, whatever, will brush off or be projected onto other people. And that's just how it is. That's just the way we function. That's just how our brains work. If we do not address the emotion and actually, be aware of it, we are going to kind of cover it up under some sand, under some dirt, and eventually it will just, kind of come up and we don't even know where it's from. And that's the subconscious part of also dealing with like emotions and that kind of stuff, like with anger. Crystal says, I had a lot of pent-up anger from having been taken advantage of by someone of my own blood, but I think realizing who people are and knowing when to set boundaries, then it avoids the feelings of angers and it reinforces the feelings of self-empowerment. Yeah, Crystal, exactly, yeah. No one likes to be taken advantage of. I've definitely also been taken advantage of, and it does also piss me off. And I'm sure you all have gone through something like that. But you just have to not only realize yourself, also understand how others function also. I mean, if you're able to understand how you function, you will be more equipped to understand how another person is functioning because you've been there, you've done that, you've gone through it. So if you're able to analyze the situation that has made you upset, that has made you pissed off, and you see the other person for who they are and where they are in their journey of life, then you're able to kind of detach yourself from that initial feeling of being upset, and you're able to go ahead and change that emotion, and like Crystal said, change that emotion by setting boundaries, using that emotion to think of solutions to kind of make sure that you are still good emotionally yourself as well. Let's see, Terrence says energy is transferable, and I feel that goes with emotions too. Yes, Terrence, your emotions have vibrations. Your emotions have energy. The same way that your thoughts also have emotion. I mean, your thoughts also have energy and vibrations as well. I think Crystal says, I think also knowing who triggers you, who is your soft spot and why, because that's when those intense emotions show. Exactly. And like I said, this is the important part of going back and reflecting. Like I had done for myself, like, what is it that invokes anger in me? Well, again, one of my things was I don't like people being oppressed. I don't like anybody being oppressed. Why does that make me angry? Well, because I know personally what oppression is like. So as a result, I at least try to see, what I can do personally to try to combat that and not feel angry all the time, because I know that the reality we live in, we're in oppression all the fucking time. Because like I said, y'all, this system is not human, it's inhumane, and it doesn't give a fuck about humans in general, regardless of your fucking race. Regardless of your race. It could really give a fuck less. And like I said, it would rather see you dead, and that's why it uses emotions against you, because it can take that advantage if you don't take that advantage yourself. And those emotions can kill you or kill another person. That's how extreme it can be. Like, it's deep. I'm not saying everybody out there, because they're angry, can go ahead and just kill somebody, but it's what's rooted in that sort of behavior. So we got to be aware of it. Let's see. Crystal says, if you know yourself, take accountability for knowing the people around you. Exactly. You have to. Terrence says, I don't know. It's kind of why I stay away from them folks nowadays, because I be feeling everything people put out there. Yeah, Terrence, it sounds like you might be a lot similar to me too, because I definitely feel a lot of emotions coming from other people also. And even when I see certain things like on social media, like, it can really just trigger me. And I don't know how some people are just out there on the internet not being aware of this shit, because it really gets in deep to your subconscious, to the point where it is affecting, your behaviors, and yeah, it's under your radar because you're not aware of it. Crystal says, if someone calls you ugly and you continue to hang out with them, you have to take accountability for allowing them into your space. Exactly, y'all. We have to be taking accountability for ourselves. Yes, people are also at fault for, doing some out-of-pocket shit, but we also have to take accountability for letting those people come into our space and allowing them to make us upset. I've been in situations where, somebody's blowing up my phone saying all this stuff, and it's just like, why let them dictate how I'm feeling when I can just go off, and turn this bitch off. I can just turn this off. I don't even have to be bothered by that. It's taking control of yourself, taking control of your your emotions. And, at the end of the day, your mind. Your mind is what controls your emotions. Let's see. Yeah, they are putting in, subconscious thoughts. They do. They put on subconscious thoughts in order to dictate how you should be feeling also. It's crazy out there, y'all. It's deep. It's deep. Terrence says, I hate admitting as a man I dislike confrontation, so I got into a habit of immediately getting angry back so I didn't look weak. But I realized that shit was kind of corny. Yeah, bro. Like, honestly, I get the whole aspect that men gotta always show that they're strong, and automatically I think a lot of men go towards anger to show that they're not weak, that they're not fearful and things like that. But honestly, I feel like strength also kind of goes and shows in those times where you step back and take control of yourself, because at the end of the day, we are not just like animalistic. We are kind of like animals, in that we can go based off of instinct. Like I said, you can be impulsive off of anger, or we can be that more conscious type of person, which we also are more aware, and we can hold ourselves back from even reacting in anger. And that shows power. I think that shows a lot of power, because that shows a lot of discipline of yourself that you have. Because not everything needs to be a confrontation. Yo, what's up, Dead King? Welcome. Yeah, we're just having a conversation about anger and dealing with anger and how that affects us on not only just like an interpersonal type of way, like one-to-one, but also on a much larger scale. Like, they use our anger against us, and it's fucked up. But yeah, we have to learn how to step back, take a breath, and figure out how we can go about things a different way. I think a lot of times we have to learn how to, what's the word I'm looking for? I think the word I'm looking for is like ground yourself, because once you're in the mode of just acting out on anger, shit, anything can happen. Think about how many mass shootings have happened in school because individuals were angry for whatever reason. Like the Columbine shooters, were they not just upset with how the other students were treating them? You know, unfortunately, anger does not necessarily mean you're the toughest person. I don't think a lot of people peep that. I think y'all, I think we need to really analyze that. And this is not, you know, everything that I'm saying is just, it doesn't go for just anger. It goes for a lot of other emotions too, like if you're feeling sad, it also goes for that. Like, we really have to go and self-reflect, because there's a lot of people out there walking in bot mode. They're on autopilot. Like, they don't even realize why they behave the way they do and act the way they do. So that's one thing. That's another thing. Let's see. But yeah, y'all. Yeah. So I think one way that I'm able to deal with anger is really just coming to take a step back and realize, like, wow, the situation's getting more deep than it really needs to be. I've been in heck of situations where I can tell I'm about to go off. And it takes a lot to just say, nah, you know what? I'm gonna step back. Like, we don't even need to talk right now. Like, I already know where this is going. I can tell where this is going. Terrence says, don't let someone else control how you go and react. Think about what you want to say and do before you let someone else do it. Terrence, bro, we might, one of these days, Crystal and Terrence, we might have to have a panel. I'm just like, yeah, you guys are saying everything that basically I wrote about. At the end of the day, you're in control of you. And if you don't think you're in control of yourself, then I have to question, who are you? You know, who are you? Who's the one behind the scenes doing all this stuff? Who's the wizard behind the fucking curtain? Controlling you, controlling this. Serious questions, y'all. Serious questions. We can't all just be walking out here like some bots, for real. We can't. Oh, Terrence coming to the event. Hey, bruh. I will definitely probably see you over there at the event. The Dead King. Yeah, I'm not sure who the Dead King is, but hey, man, if you have anything you want to input into the chat about anger, definitely feel free to do it. We just here chatting about it. But yeah, we have to I think we have to also just see where our power lies, and that is in our minds, y'all. That is in our minds. Hey, random viewer, love it. But yeah, so like I was saying, it's just like we have to go ahead and take control of the situation ourselves. I mean, we aren't always fully in control of everything that happens to us or the situations we get put into. That's all for the higher power that exists. But we can control how we react towards a situation. We can react. We can control how we react. We react regardless. So what's it to us to not take responsibility and really shaping how we react towards others? And I think at our last stream we had talked about people like hurting other people. Well, yeah, sometimes we get angry because we feel hurt. And when we feel hurt, we feel like we gotta hurt other people. And that's where we turn to our anger in order to do it. But I think we all got to learn how to take control of the situations, and we got to be able to think about the situations, because we aren't just, animals who don't think. We are people given consciousness, so let's go ahead and freaking use it. Like, there's no reason why we shouldn't be using our brains, y'all. And there's no reason why our own personal experiences cannot be used to do better. The Dead King says, anger is a door to a complex truth, which needs a lot of thinking. Yes, a lot of thinking and a lot of self-analysis, in my opinion, because anything can be a trigger. Anything can be a trigger for us to be upset and be angry. So we have to come to terms with the idea that this is an emotion that we will all have to face. And this is an emotion that we also have to learn how to control before we allow it to control ourselves. Unknowingly, a lot of the times. Some people knowingly. Some people do like to get mad or choose to get mad. Don't know why, because anger is something that has a bad effect on your body, y'all, by the way. And anger ages you quickly. So, just some things to keep in mind. I think if we're able to kind of like take control of our own personal anger, y'all, then we might be able to better like organize ourselves. I think we can't come together unless we have something like that going on. We have some sort of like self-reflection and realize that not everything is necessarily an attack on us. If we're functioning off of our egos, then yeah, everything can be an attack on us. But if we're not functioning on our ego and we're actually thinking more consciously, more higher up than the ego, then I think you'll have a clearer view on how you can manipulate the way that you feel towards something, and make it so that you're, have some sort of willpower towards doing something. Well, thank you for stopping by, Dead King. Thank you. It's also just, I think, just very interesting that there can be some sort of change when you hit somebody else with kindness, even though they may be coming towards you with some anger. I think when people see that, then they see how ridiculous they're sounding or looking when they're upset. Let's see, there's also a difference between angry and hating. Just because someone is angry doesn't mean they hate that person. Oh yeah, that's true. That's also true. Yeah, there's a thin line between anger and hating. Let me ask you guys that. What do you think draws the line between anger and hating? I think hating is something that is usually like more drawn out and sustained rather than anger. Anger, I think, sometimes can just be there for a second and gone the next. I think hating is just something that is built over time. I don't know, y'all. I want to hear what you guys have to say. That is so interesting that you say that, trying to be. Yeah, hatred is an obsession from anger. You wanna put a little more about what you mean in the chat? Because yeah, that's a very interesting oh yeah, okay. Yeah, tell me more. Yeah, tell us more. Tell us more. I definitely want to hear that. Hatred is an obsession from anger. I've never thought of it like that, but I can see that. I can definitely see that. It could be like, I think, yeah, hatred, obsession from, yeah, you know what? Because I want to say it's also kind of like jealousy and envy in a way too. It's just like, because to me, how at the end of the day, I'm like, how can anybody hate on anybody? So I'm just like, it is rooted in anger, and I think it's also rooted in like jealousy and envy to hate so bad. Facts, big facts. If you continue to dwell on it, it turns into hatred. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I think one thing that Crystal had brought up once to me was like, there's a switch between, like, not appreciation, but like, looking up to somebody versus like hating on them. There's a thin line between the two. You could really look up to somebody, but that same energy could be switched and it could be turned into like some sort of like hatred or envy. Terrence says, I feel like hating is continuous and something that's more directed towards you, while anger is a flare, something that you dislike. People gotta let stuff go. Yeah, y'all. Yeah, facts. I think people be holding on to grudges for too long, y'all. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that what has happened was okay. It wasn't okay, but like that doesn't mean you need to hold a grudge. I think that for us to also get over some sort of anger is like, we have to forgive the other person, not because we're saying like it was okay for them to do whatever the fuck they did, but it's like we have to forgive them for ourselves, or else that anger will be held inside of you and it will turn into like, I don't know, like a weight inside of you. It's going to brew up to the point where you might just pop off. Like I was saying about the whole mass shootings and shit, like those kids had nowhere to really express their anger or them being upset, and they just popped off. Yep, forgive but don't forget, period. Exactly. Forgive but don't forget. Y'all, the reality of it all, there's a lot of evil shit that goes on in the world. So we gotta learn how to forgive in order to move on and be a better person. We gotta learn from the circumstances that we've had in order to do that, because it can and will take over your life if you don't. It can and will take over your life if you don't. And yeah, it'll actually turn into hatred. Exactly. And I don't know about y'all, but have you ever like held a grudge against anybody? That shit don't feel good. Can't even look at that person. grudges get you nowhere. And you're just looking for the next, the next escape to go and do somebody else wrong because, you're holding a grudge against them. How about you just cut them off? For sure, Terrence. Thank you for coming in, bro. I really appreciate it. But, yeah, honestly, y'all, I do appreciate everybody who's coming into the chat trying to be. I really appreciate you too, dude. Like, and Crystal, my mod. Thank you. Yeah, honestly, y'all, the only thing I just wanted to say about it is, like, why let somebody else dictate your emotions? Why allow other people to make you angry? And you're allowing them to have power over you and your actions that follow. At the end of the day, we just got to be taking care of ourselves, learning, and really just keeping our own composure because it is being used against us, and there's a bigger war out there, y'all. There's a bigger war. But honestly, I don't think I'm actually going to finish this on here. I was just honestly just chatting it up with y'all. I will probably finish this up later. But unless anybody else has anything else to say up in the chat, shoot, I'm all ears. I really don't think I'm gonna stick around for too long, y'all. But here we are. I think honestly, I think I'm gonna just close up this the stream right now. Oh, Terrence says before he goes, grudges are one main reason we struggle as humans. Trying to be angry for someone for so long is dangerous and obsessive. Yeah, y'all, we gotta fight those demons, bruh. We gotta fight those demons that cause us to be angry and all that. We gotta take control. We gotta defeat them. We gotta shed light on them because at the end of the day, they will control us if we don't. Are you a non-playable character, or are you player one? Not saying main character syndrome, but like, are you in control or not at the end of the day? Or are you an NPC just out there walking, doing whatever, reacting however? But I'm gonna close it up. Thank you guys again for coming through. Until probably next week. Crystal will be streaming tonight, so definitely check her out at Crystal Gale on Twitch. Yeah, hit him with the NPC. Y'all know how it is. We gotta be aware. We gotta be conscious, y'all. But honestly, bye. Thank you. Oh, OD, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna hop into OD's stream right now. OD, I'm gonna check out your stream right now. Thanks, Brett.